All right, good evening. Welcome to American Hammers TV. Welcome to the weekend review. There's not a lot to review except our transfer window, but we'll review it anyway. Happy Labor Day weekend to all of you who celebrate, which is pretty much everybody here in the U.S. Is it a holiday weekend, Tom, in England as well?
No.
It was last weekend was though, right?
Yeah, last weekend was a bank holiday. Last bank holiday of the year, last weekend.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't consider Christmas like a bank holiday, or?
No.
Okay, so that's different. Okay,
It's very much different.
Gotcha. Okay, so bank holiday is like a Labor Day, Memorial Day, or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. So it's Labor Day weekend here, which means we all have the day off work tomorrow. Which means, hey Rob, which means I don't know. We'll we're gonna play it by ear a little bit. Anyway, what do I always say? First of all, I want to tell you that you need to go to AHTV. I'm going to say this very clearly because I slur my words a lot, even though I'm only drinking ginger ale. Okay, just so you know. Just so you know, it's only ginger ale. I'm back on the weight loss program, okay, because I've put some pounds on over the summer. So it's only ginger, it's only diet ginger ale. It's not even any sugar in it. But ahtv.threadless.com. Threadless is in no threads. ahtv.threadless.com. Now, if y'all will go there and where'd my flag go? I can't find it now. Well, anyway, if y'all will go there and take a look. We have a lot of great stuff, a lot of great West Ham stuff, American Hammers TV stuff. Also, our supporters group stuff. And Alex, who's with us tonight, designed a bunch of those logos and did a fantastic job. And so you guys need to take a look at what's there for your supporters groups in the U.S. and Canada, both, because there's some really good stuff out there. My Merrimack Valley Hammers t-shirt, I think I need a new one because I've managed to stain it somehow, and I've done the stain thing.
How did you do that? I mean, really?
I mean, it's not. I really don't know. That's the thing, is I don't know, because I've worn it everywhere. I've worn it to like Red Sox games. I've worn it all over the place. So wherever I wore it somewhere where it didn't survive. So I probably need to get a new one. But he did the Merrimack Valley Hammers logo and a bunch of other great logos. So please take a look there because it's great. Hey Lawrence, how you doing? It's good to see you from the Plains, from Auburn. Alex and I were just talking about college football before we started the show. So Threadless, that'd be great. If you want to be on the show, we're working people in as we speak to go on Katie's show, which is Katie's the other direction. Katie's over here. I could never do it right. It confuses me so much. Anyway.
To your left.
No, but it's the wrong way. See, anyway, whatever. It never point. There you go. There she is. There's Katie. See, I'm pointing the wrong way, but no, it's pointing at her. Thank you, Alex Cutter. Katie does her show on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock.
Thursday.
Sorry.
Thirsty Thursday.
No, really right.
Do you want to start again, Lee?
Yes. I used to do a show on Wednesdays, and I had a big discussion with my wife over why I do it on Sundays now. Anyway, Thursday nights at 8 o'clock, Katie does a show with Hometown Hammer, and we're getting people worked into that. And it's a good way to introduce you to the fold, introduce you to the fellow fans, and then from then on, we're kind of trying to develop some more shows so we can get people on and get people rotated into the cast and stuff like that. So don't give up. If you want to be on the network, we'll get you on. Okay, don't worry. Unless you've been banned. I don't think anybody's been banned yet. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go. I think that's right. So who do we have with us tonight? As mentioned previously, in the city of brotherly love, sisterly love, the thirsty city of Philadelphia, it's Katie.
That's right. Oh, I almost knocked over my whole desk doing that.
I was just wondering what happened there.
I have a sit-stand desk.
Oh, you do?
And yes. And so I don't have a cool West Ham flag yet. So I've been putting blankets up behind me because we have 2 dogs running around. Okay. So I will be putting an order in through Threadless, Alex, shortly, getting a flag and getting new t-shirts. But yeah, so I'm on every Thursday night, as Lee said, Thirsty Thursday. If you want to be a Hometown Hammer, give me a shout on social media at Ms. West Ham Philly.
Thirsty Thursday, and that's 8 o'clock, which is 1 o'clock in the morning in the UK for you night birds, you feisty night birds. Speaking of which, do you live in London, or you don't live in London?
No, I don't. We've had this discussion so many times.
No. You live somewhere. You live in the Midlands somewhere.
No.
Oh, come on! But the rest of the country.
I'm from Essex. Right? No. Okay. I'm from Essex, but I live in Yorkshire, which is
not the Midlands.
No, it would be London, Birmingham, Yorkshire, Newcastle, Scotland. So I'm kind of like 3/4 of the way up the country is where.
Yorkshire's like Leeds. Leeds is in Yorkshire, right?
Yeah. It's Manchester's one side, and then Yorkshire's the other side. So we're kind of parallel with each other.
Okay. See, I think of England the way I think of New York State. Okay, New York State. There's New York City, and the rest of the state is just upstate New York.
Right.
You know, so it doesn't. The whole enormous New York State rest is. So I think of England. So there's like London, and then there's like everything else is kind of the
Basically, whoever lives in London.
Buffalo.
It's easy to forget about Buffalo, Alex. To be fair,
He lives in Buffalo.
Whoever lives in England.
He lives in Buffalo. Yes, he does live in Buffalo. Yes, that's true.
Yeah, basically he lives in Buffalo.
Whoever lives in London, the M25 is the road that goes. There's a ring road that goes around the outside of London, and everybody says anything past the M25 is the north to them because obviously it's just the south that counts. So yeah.
Well, it's the highway Interstate 495, which is about a mile from me here. That's in the Boston area. If you live outside of 495, you live off of a cliff somewhere.
It is called the Watford Gap, and it is the Watford Gap.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you're just exactly. So anyway, Yorkshire. So I get that right next time. See, I have trouble remembering this stuff. The only thing I remember is Charlie Walsh lives in North London. Yes, mind the gap, mind the Watford Gap. And of course in Starkville, Mississippi, who our guest who had a good night last night with Mississippi State football, but a difficult night to endure. Stressful night, but they did win. It's Alex. How you doing, Alex?
Doing well. It's nice to have a day off.
So you go to all the games, right? And you're involved with like running of the games.
Well,
basically?
I wouldn't say that, but yeah, I do some of the like advertising sales, things of that nature. So on the radio or things of that nature. So yes, so I am now, in some shape, form, or fashion.
Do you do any voiceovers on radio and stuff like that?
I do not. It's something I'm wanting to get into doing. That's why I've got a cool little microphone, and
that would be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. I was watching the TCU game last night, and it was on ESPN Plus, so there weren't really any commercials. And at halftime, they were giving a tour of the stadium with our play-by-play guy was like giving the tour of the stadium, and I thought, well, that's kind of a cool job to have. Get to hang out in the best parts of the stadium. Anyway, so we didn't have a game this week, as everybody knows, of course. But we did finish the transfer window. There's Rebecca. I see her.
Hey, Bex.
And I see Charlie Boy here, who's often on with us, but he's not on with us tonight, and I'm not really sure why. I forgot to invite him. That's my fault. I apologize. But we'll do it again next week. Brooklyn is. He says Brooklyn is New York, and the rest is. I'll subscribe to that. I'm absolutely behind.
I love Brooklyn.
I love Brooklyn too. I love it, and I'd love to spend more time there. I want to take my boys there as soon as we can get down there.
It's great.
It's the best part of New York City, and there's no doubt in my mind about it. I mean, you see like, the sights in Manhattan and whatnot, but if you want to like hang out and have fun, you should go to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You should go to Brooklyn. All right, so we closed off the transfer window, and hey, what a surprise! We've got 4 players coming in. All right, sitting here a week ago, wondered if we're going to have anybody but Mr. Nip Ariola coming in. All of a sudden, we got 4 players coming in. So we have Ariola and who's the other?
Zuma, Král,
and
Vlasic.
Pickle, right?
Pickle guy, Daddy, you gonna eat that pickle? Daddy, you gonna eat that last pickle?
No, that's the greatest pickle I ever heard. That was the old the old Vlasic commercials. Vlasic, as they say it here. Ariel is on loan.
Not a clue what just happened there.
That's okay. Ariel is on
We're
loan.
just here to entertain you.
I was going to say, this is the cultural education of Tom Atherton that we're doing. It's really what this is all about. Ariel is on loan, and Král is on loan, right? Isn't that right? And we bought the other 2, did we not? We bought Vlasic and we bought Zuma. I think. Okay,
yes.
Good. Okay, good. I have 1 week without West Ham, and I'm just, I've lost my mind. Well, give me your thoughts then. I'll tell you what. We'll do the thing everybody was doing on Twitter. Give me your a 1 to 10, 1 worst, 10 best rating of the transfer window. Katie, why don't you start?
I would give it a 7.
Do you care to expand?
Oh. I mean,
everyone's just waiting for it.
Tell me more.
I mean, I'm waiting. I thought we were going to get Lingard, so I was waiting on that. yeah, I thought, I don't know the reasoning why we had to wait so long to get, Zuma. But I'm excited to see him in action when he's ready.
Yeah, I am too. And I would hope that would be soon.
And of course, we knew about Ariola, and
Right.
so yeah.
What do you think? Okay, well, that's okay. That's good. I appreciate that because we're gonna come back to it in a minute. Alex,
yeah, I didn't know how deep we want to go.
As deep as you want to go. There's no. We didn't play a game this weekend, so I mean, you go. I mean, listen, you dig yourself as deep a hole as you'd like to dig.
Yeah.
Alex, what'd you think?
I'm going to give it an 8. I know everybody wants to dock at a point for not having a striker, but I think everybody's looking in the short term and say, we need a striker. I'm like, okay, yeah. But I think a lot of this, if you look back the last 2 windows, there's pieces that are getting put together for a longer play, and you're not going to get that all in one snap. I do think there is people are like, well, we're getting another midfielder. I'm like, as much as I don't want to read all the bullshit and listen to it, and I think there is something to the Rice, eventually moving on at some point.
At some point, yeah, it's just a matter of time.
And I think a lot of that is an insulation for that, and I think some of it is an insulation for, or just having coverage for Europa League. I mean, look at teams that have made it the last couple of years out of nowhere, like Watford, and then got their shit kicked in the next year because they were playing, double games.
Right.
So I give it an 8. I mean, nobody gets a 10. You damn well better get a striker to get a 9. So I'm going to give it an 8. I think you checked all the boxes you wanted to check. But it's playing the long game. Everybody, again, is short-term gratification, playing the long game here, man.
No, I'm playing the long game because Antonio, if he gets hurt, that's where the long game is on that striker. But go ahead.
That's the long game. That's his hamstrings.
I was just going to say, and he is playing right now for Jamaica, as they've noted here.
1-0 down.
Somebody noted in the chat room. They are 1-0 down to Panama, which is just a sweet-ass Van Halen song, bro. Panama, that's like one of their best tunes. So Alex looked at me like, what is he talking about? Come on, man. You know what I'm talking about. Panama. Anyway, back in the good old days of Van Halen. Anyway, Panama had their Panama lead 1-0 at this point. So that's in Jamaica as well. So we'll see if Antonio can convert there. I just hope he comes back healthy, honestly. You know what I mean? That's all I care about. Tom, what's your window take?
Yeah, I'm going to go to a similar line with Miss Philly up there. I'm going to say a 7, simply because I think it's not just the striker. I think we maybe have missed a trick getting Lingard. Obviously, Vlasic at the end of the day plays a similar position. Wasn't impressed with him the first time when he came into the Premier League, but listen, he's obviously grown as a player out in Russia, which is good for us, I guess. He's been very, very good. But seeing Lingard again tonight, I know it was only against Andorra, but I would have preferred Lingard to Vlasic, I think. Are we in a position where we could have just done with a few extra bodies? Obviously Masuaku's been out injured for a little while. I know he's been playing with the 23s, but maybe
he doesn't seem close, does he?
Yeah, he's played the full 90, I think, in both times. But again, could we have done with another left back? There was obviously a lot of talk of that. Thankfully, I think one of the main issues was addressed, which was getting somebody like Kral in for the defensive midfield cover, especially for Rice. And listen, I think we bought well. I think we've got players that will play both well in the Premier League and have obviously also played in Europe too, higher than the Europa League level. Obviously, likes of Zuma playing in the Champions League, etc. But I really think we missed a trick not getting the striker, and I think that is going to come back and bite us in the backside. For me, it's just like the amount of games that we've got between now and I think is at the end of October, or there's like a month period where we've got so many games condensed into one. Yeah. You can't ask Mikel Antonio on those hamstrings to start as many games as that. We're going to have to rotate, but with all the other strikers that have gone out as well, the likes of Mipo that may have had a chance maybe some weeks in the Premier League, I'm on the bench. So obviously somebody's going to have to go into David Moyes' school of centre forward conversion and come out and hopefully be able to play that role well enough for Antonio if he's not available. But yeah, for me, it's a 7 again. I think we missed a trick, maybe not bringing in just a couple of extra bodies. And I think the one thing that annoys me more than anything is that we wait until the final literal 2-3 days of the season to get these players in. And if these were Moyes' number one targets, especially the likes of Zuma, who we've heard all along was his number one target, why that business wasn't looked at the start of the summer, I don't know. Giving them a chance to gel with the team, etc. And now they come back off of an international break and they've got 3 or 4 days to be ready for their first game against Southampton. So yeah, it's probably a 7 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I feel a little harsh now. I feel like the Russian judge, but I actually kind of gave it a 6.5, only because, well, and I'll tell you why. To me, it's right on the brink of pass fail. Now, Katie, you're doing your MBA, right? You're doing your MBA right now. So you know how you can take a class and you can either get a letter grade or you can take it pass fail when you're in college.
Yeah.
If this were a pass fail class for me, it's like it's pass, but it's just barely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a D. It's like you snuck through. The players are good. All right. I think the players are very good. I think Zuma is an excellent player. He was a Southampton player for a long time. I've seen him play. He's a good player. I think he's an immediate need. Kral comes highly recommended. I can't say that I watch a lot of Russian football, to be honest, but he comes highly recommended. Vlasic, I think, is going to be a very good signing. And I think we may see Areola actually fairly soon. So I have no problem with the 4 guys we brought in at all. I think they'll adapt well, especially Zuma, who's a Premier League player anyway. It's just we again, Mikel Antonio is out there running around for Jamaica right now, and we know he's got hamstrings made of pudding. And as I love him so much, he's one of my favorite West Ham players of all time. But there's no way he plays 50-plus games for us and goes out and plays for Jamaica in the World Cup qualifiers. It's just not going to happen. He's going to need rest, or he's going to pop a hamstring. We know him. So I think the fact we didn't bring a striker in is a problem. And somebody else mentioned it earlier. Gaza says, yeah, we need a left back. We do. It's not Cresswell. Cresswell's been good for us. All right. He revived his career after a rough season a couple of years ago. He's been a really good player for us. The problem is, if he goes down, there's not really much of anybody behind him, because Masuaku can't defend. He's not a defender. You can't put him there. So I don't know that we have a left back after Cresswell, unless
would you
there's
put
somebody
Johnson over there?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question. What do you guys think? I think of him as
Who did you say?
Johnson. Ben
Johnson.
I guess, but he doesn't seem like a natural left back to me.
No, but
cover's
pretty bare after that.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it covered gets bare, pretty quickly. And
that's what I'm definitely worried about that.
Well, here's a question. Not to move on from the left back thing, but who would you put in? Okay, Antonio goes down right now, hamstring. Who is playing that spot next week?
See, that's a great question. I was going to ask that question too, Alex. So.
See, I told you I'm not playing the long-term game.
someone. Injuries are inevitable. It's going to happen. It's probably going to happen to somebody that you don't think. Not in this case. It's probably going to happen. So, but here's the thing with the striker, and not to get away from that question, but strikers are so. Look at what's his name? We shopped off. Everybody's got great stats, and you pay out the nose, and they don't produce. I'd rather find a guy that you can convert and put in that spot than have to pay out the nose for somebody who's probably not worth it.
So would David Moyes. That's what he likes to do.
Yeah. So who's that guy?
Antonio?
Someone said Bowen.
Yeah.
Up top. That would be, who I would put up. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Bex.
And Lawrence as well.
Yeah. Okay.
I think if this is again, we'll come back to that. This is I don't think Johnson. I'm not sure he can really play left back, but anyway, I guess he could, but it's not ideal.
I am listening. I'm just trying to get the Jamaica game up on my other screen so I can just see Antonio's
potential
demise on thingy.
I was going to say, you want to see the actual moment when we.
Yeah, the only way I can know that I can watch it for any. Yeah. If anybody has a link, please DM it to me on Twitter. But I can watch it on the Bet365. If you're in England and you've got a Bet365 account, I think you can watch it for free on there.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I do not know if it's on here or not, and I'd have to Oh, Paramount Plus. Well, I don't have Paramount Plus. I probably have to get it because I think that's what Europa League is on. That's the CBS streaming network. I don't have Paramount Plus, so I guess I won't be watching it right now. Anyway, I think it's either Bowen or it wouldn't shock me if he moved Vlasic into a false 9 type role. I don't know what you guys think of that. I mean,
well, that's what I was thinking. It would be more of a shift. He'd have to put Nicole in and then sort of shift everyone.
I mean,
those are the obvious,
right? Because I think what I wonder is, we were linked with like 1,000 strikers. Okay, we didn't sign any of them. You have got to leave Fabianski alone.
I know.
He's not that bad. He's getting a little older, but he's not that bad. Anyway, I would think that it's either going to be Bowen or it's going to be Vlasic in sort of a false 9-ish type role. I don't know. I mean, we were linked with a lot of strikers. We didn't buy one. Is that Moyes? Is that GSB? I have no idea. I mean, but that's the weakest thing to me about the window is that we didn't manage to cover that.
I think it is GSB. Honestly, I think that they weren't giving him the coin he needed.
Well, I think it's agents kind of playing the game and especially there was Europa League, not Europe. I'm sorry, the Euros. I think that put schedules behind. Players were playing; they didn't want to deal with it. But I think agents and people like that are just trying to angle for who's more desperate, who's going to play chicken at the last minute. That's my opinion.
I think they are definitely trying to play a game of chicken, though.
Yeah.
Well, we came off as a little desperate, and I think we probably were a little desperate. But I'm not sure we overpaid for any of these guys. In all honesty, I mean,
no.
I don't go on Transfer Market a lot and look at the values and all that, but it didn't seem unreasonable. You can't get a player now who could slot into your starting 11 for less than 25-30 million pounds if that's just what you pay. That's just how it is. So, I mean, I'm wondering about this too, Brad. He converted Arnautovic successfully. He's converted Antonio successfully. I think he may be looking at the same thing with Vlasic, with converting him. How disappointed are we not to have gotten Jesse Lingard? How much of a hole do you think that leaves, if any at all?
Man, that kid's going to be foaming at the mouth to get here by January.
Well, he got to play for England against the FCS opposition.
He scored twice today.
He scored twice today against Andorra, which is like a country that's literally like the size of Chelmsford where I live. But he did score twice.
Thank you to Rebecca, by the way. Rebecca's giving me a stable live stream. Thank you, Rebecca.
Oh, good.
Nice. Good job. All right. Well, will you let us know? Keep us posted as to how it goes. Since I don't really think
we should have gotten her on the stream tonight. I mean, come on.
I know. It's poor from her. Where are you, Rebecca? Come on.
Poor.
She never comes on. You know what? I'll tell you what. She wants to come on. She can come on. She never comes on. I have invited her many times, Rebecca. I mean,
burn Rebecca.
Like far more than once. And she's never come. I think it's because of me. I think it must be me. That's the only answer I have.
From what I said, I agree with the Bowen suggestion as a false 9. I think he's skilled enough to play that position. I think he has the intelligence to run in behind, and I know he's played there on numerous occasions for Hull. Just because where I am and some of my friends in Yorkshire that support Hull, that he can play that position very well. Ideally, he will have the same effect, but unfortunately, he was doing that in the Championship. Whether or not he can do it in the Prem, but I think he could fill in for that role.
Well, because he was Rebecca, check your Twitter, check your DMs, slide into your DMs. Okay, I've slid into your DMs. I've slid. I've slid.
Oh.
I mean, yeah. Anyway, he was a striker for Hull, wasn't he? Or did he from time to time? So
yep.
I mean, we know he can do that. I mean, I guess it's just a matter of can he do it up front by himself? And I don't know, Tom, your Yorkshire, your Midlands friends seem to think that's possible.
Yeah, no, I think it is. Obviously, he's scoring prowess wherever he's gone, and the fact that Gareth Southgate said that if he kept his form up, that he would look at him for England, and he's not even scored a goal this year, so clearly he's doing something right. And listen, he's not exactly the Antonio style player, of course he's not, but he is a better finisher than Mikel Antonio. I do love Antonio to pieces, but at times his finishing can left to be desired. Although this season, I don't know what he's put into his boots, because some of his strikes have been amazing. Yeah, but usually it ends up sort of 50 foot over the bar. So yeah, I don't think it's a negative thing, and he's got obviously the pace to play it. It's just I think just not the similar type of body that Antonio has, but he should still be able to cause problems.
Well, there is no other player like Antonio unless you want to bring in somebody like Traore from Wolves. I mean, Antonio is just a bull. He's just so big and strong. You don't see a lot of guys like that up front. The defenses are terrified when he runs at him. And as I'm with you, Tom, I don't think Bowen brings that, but who else? Nobody else does.
No.
So I mean, do you guys have any sense for what Moyes looks for in a striker, why he never brings one in? I can't figure it out, unless he just thinks we're just going to bring in wingers and convert them.
The thing is, though, I was struggling to think. I'll keep it short so other people can jump in, but I was trying to think back to his Everton days, and he never had a single real striker at Everton, and a lot of the time his goal came from the likes of Tim Cahill or Fellaini, etc. He never really had an out and out number 9 that would get him 15, 20 goals a season. Obviously, I know he's had, I think Louis Saha may have been there towards the end of his time. He did have potentially Jelavic over there as well. And, but there was no real recognised big striker that he had there at Everton, but he still, produced consistent season after season. So I think, he must have in his head a certain way that he wants to play, and I think we all knew that maybe Sebastian Haller wasn't the type of striker that he wanted, and he felt more comfortable with certain players being able to be converted into that position. And look, it's worked pretty much for him wherever he has gone, ultimately. Unfortunately, maybe not Man United, but obviously he wasn't given enough time, but he still finds a way to score goals and grind results out. A lot of his stuff is based from defence, but hey, if the likes of Antonio or, for instance, say somebody else can do it, similar to what Cahill and Fellaini did for him at Everton, then why not?
Yeah, I mean, let's put it this way. At this point, I trust David Moyes almost whatever he does. You know what I mean? He doesn't get everything right. We know he doesn't get everything right, but he's gotten enough right that, I don't feel comfortable questioning him, I mean, he might know more about football than I do. I don't know. It's hard to say. I have hosted.
He's the Messiah. You don't question a Messiah like that.
I have hosted a lot of these shows, though, Tom. Which means
you have.
I'm pretty much
must
ready
know
for
something.
I'm ready for Premier League management. Exactly. So as you all can tell, yeah. So I want to go back to Lingard for a minute. Anybody think he comes in January and basically just becomes our player at that point?
Yes,
I do. Absolutely. And that's what I mean about us waiting on him, because I don't think we want to spend the money. I think we're trying to, get a deal on him. He's exactly who Moyes wants to have. He fits right into the system. There's no other way.
We're going to have to buy a pair of tweezers to pull all the pine out of his ass in January. Because he is not going to get off the bench.
No. Well, they've brought in... they brought in a new number 7 into Manchester United. They brought in this Portuguese guy, right? So that's not going to help. This guy,
the really fit one.
Yeah, the Portuguese guy works out a lot.
The one with the abs. Yeah,
the one with the abs. He works out a lot. I don't know. He's kid from Sporting. I think he's from Sporting Portugal, maybe someplace like that. Anyway,
Madeira Lee, come on.
They brought the Portuguese guy in, and
he's got good hair. Oh yeah,
he does have good hair. I will say that he does. This is why
he's basically what all of you wished you looked like at the age of 36. I think is what we're saying here.
That's what I wish I looked like at the age of 47. I wish I looked like that. I've always thought that Ronaldo is better than Messi. Okay, and not most people don't agree with me. I'll tell you why. It's because he has better hair. Ultimately, if you're going to separate them based on, if you're going to separate, then you separate.
Messi has a similar. He has a little skin fade going on, little fade.
Messi's just he doesn't care. He doesn't do anything with it. It's like somebody takes one of those vacuums. Remember those vacuums you'd take on your.
I know why it is, and you don't want to. I know why it is. It's because he plays for your nemesis team now. That's why. Don't try and say that it's about hair. It's because he plays for that team.
That is definitely a factor, but every club in France is Saint Etienne's nemesis team at the moment. So
what team does he play for again now?
He plays for it's not it's the one in Paris, but it's not Paris FC. It's the other one. Paris FC is bigger club really, down there. I think they play in the 3rd division, but he plays for the other.
You say massive in French.
Well, I know how to say enormous.
Enorme.
Enorme. Yeah.
Je suis énorme.
Yeah, I know. And another piece of news I heard the other day is that this young guy Jude Bellingham, he's only 18. Okay, so I don't know if you guys knew that or not. Also, Manchester United son Ronaldo, and Jerome Bettis is from Detroit, but only Americans are going to get that.
She totally knew. She just wanted you to say it.
Everybody wants me to say it, but I don't like to speak that. I don't like to talk about them.
I don't either. I'm with you, Lee.
They disgust me. They absolutely they turned down. First of all, Real Madrid, who were supposed to be broke, offer 150 million pounds or something for Mbappe, and the club, the 50-year-old club in Paris with no history until 10 years ago was like, nah, we don't need it. That's insane. That's totally insane.
Wally says he's waiting for you to say it so he can drink. That's epic.
It's the ruination of football. I'm telling you, it's total ruination of football. Anyway, yes, I agree with Jesse and the Pine, Alex's Pine.
Similar to that Mbappe situation, though. Like, not similar players, but in terms of Mbappe in January now, will be able to negotiate his contract with Real Madrid, and it'll be the same for Jesse. Even if he, rejects Man United's deal, we still can open contract talks with him in January, and it'd be okay. So if we do want to pay a little bit of extra to bring him to the club after agreeing, the fee will be less significant than if we paid it now. I just wish we'd have done it, but there's no way I would pay that much money, especially for a year and, a player with less than a year left now on his contract. So
yeah,
it makes sense to wait if we can get him for cheaper. But if we don't end up getting him, I would be bitterly disappointed because I did find it very frustrating tonight. He did leave. He gave it all. He gave one of them and then he left.
How do I never see it? How do I like, I think he's still here and then he's gone. Anyway, well, Tom, did you want Lingard? I mean, there's a real
100%.
I did. No, I did too. Okay, I did too. He was actually the number one player I wanted in this window. All right, because he's a proven Premier League player. He's a proven West Ham player. It's hard to find somebody like that.
But once again, he showed it tonight, even against lesser opposition. I know, but he still shows that that you don't, even against lesser opposition, create the space that he does, make the runs that he does to get everybody else into the game, drop the shoulder, cut inside, and have a shot like he did for the second goal that he scored. So clearly, there's still that confidence there that he had when he was with us. But again, as we've said, I know Dan James is gone, but United are going to struggle to get him in the team every single week. And even when they needed a goal last week or whenever it was, I know Greenwood ended up rescuing it, but they still didn't bring him on. So
they didn't bring him on. No.
How much time he's going to get, I don't know. And eventually, probably in January, it will probably. I think one of the big things for me is that we'll end up swaying him. I reckon if he doesn't get those minutes, and Gareth Southgate looks to someone like Greenwood, who may be starting every week, and as soon as he starts dropping out the England squad again, I think obviously Jesse will want to move on and get that. So realistically, I think we will be one of the pole runners to get him, but it will probably, I don't know. I think we'd be in pole position to sign him, but I just wish we'd have pulled the trigger. And I wish Man United wouldn't have been such dicks about the fee, I think, at the end of the day.
I think that was part of it. I think Man United was part of it. I mean, I blame the board for everything, but I don't think this is entirely their fault. I think Man United wanted a lot of money for a 28-year-old who's in the last year of his contract. I mean, he's kind of a rental in a sense, right? Because, he's gonna. It's the last year of his contract. You're gonna have to re-sign him after that. Anything above 20 million pounds to me, because of the situation, sounded like too much.
But they could have even signed him to an extra 1-year deal and then loaned him out to us for the rest of the season, and then we could have put maybe an obligation to buy for 15 to 20 million or something in that way. So there were other ways that they could go around it. But at the end of the day, if you listen to Jesse, he says that there wasn't enough contact with West Ham, and at which point maybe that was the board's fault. But I don't know. It was a lot of mixed messages coming out of the two different camps and Man United and what they wanted. So, and if he wanted to stay at United, then fair play to him. I don't begrudge him if he wanted to do that. It must be hard because he has been at Man United. He's a Man United player, Man United fan since he was a young boy. It's similar for Jack Grealish, this summer. Yeah, exactly. So I don't begrudge him for staying there. And it didn't. I wasn't pissed off for him. I was so happy for him when I saw him scoring tonight because clearly, his career has been reinvigorated by coming to us. But it is a shame that we don't get to utilise what such a great player he was for us.
Yeah, and I think he liked West Ham. I think he loved West Ham. I think he sent so many signals and signs in the time he was here. He put his kid in a West Ham kit. He wore Declan Rice's shirt for the opener of the Euros. I mean, the guy was like, he was like trying to tell us, buy me, buy me, buy me. I think,
That's what I thought too. So I was confused when all of the information came out that he didn't want to come. So I don't know if that was some sort of tactical move on his part to save his butt in front of Man United to keep him there, but I really thought he wanted to come to
I
West
think
Ham.
he wanted to come, Katie. I think he showed.
Yeah, horribly.
Here's the thing, though, and here's what I always try to remember about these guys is, they get paid a lot of money, but they have jobs just like we do. And I mean, if I'm in a job and I'd like to leave, I can't really state that publicly.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to put my employer into an awkward situation.
Right.
2-0 Panama.
Do what?
2-0
Panama? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, okay. Can I just tell you?
Their defense is shocking, by the way, Jamaica's. There's not a lot Antonio's actually getting either in the game.
Yeah.
I can't lie.
2-0 Panama, Ronaldo Blackburn. I don't know who that is. Anyway, can I just listen, I have nothing against the wonderful people of Jamaica, and I love Antonio. It would be so much better if they didn't even come close to qualifying and he played fewer games. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They should do that. I looked at their team tonight. It's a team full of Premier League rejects and like half decent players with Leon Bailey and Antonio, even though Bailey's not playing. But they still got the likes of Adrian Mariappa and Ravel Morrison starting tonight, and a few others mixed in with a couple of MLS
guys.
guys.
Out there tonight? Really?
Yeah, he started as well.
Oh, he sure is.
And I tell you what, there's even, as Charlie put it on Twitter, a wild Blair Turgott who used to be a youth team player for West Ham who's there as well. So
interesting. I don't know these Panamanians. I don't know many of these guys, to be honest. I bet you there's a lot of MLS guys playing for Panama, which surprises me that they're doing as well as they are. But yeah, I obviously I love Antonio. I'd love for him to play in a World Cup. Man, every time he takes the pitch, even for West Ham, I'm nervous. But he takes the pitch for somebody else, it's like it's ridiculous, But no, Katie, I think Lingard wanted to come, but you can't alienate your employer. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And you can't do it publicly, right? This is what I always say about David Moyes. I'm sure Gold, Sullivan, and Brady frustrate him the way they frustrate all the rest of us. All right. I think he came to West Ham because he needed to revive his career after some failures, high-profile failures, especially Manchester United, where nobody was going to succeed at Ferguson anyway. But I think he needed to, he came here because he needed to. And I'm sure he hates working for Gold, Sullivan, and Brady. But at the same time, he knows that what he did in his first full season got a lot of attention. He does that again, he'll be able to write his own ticket almost wherever he wants to go. I think he could go. I hope he stays. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think he knows that he has to go along to get along, because this is where he's had a chance to turn his career around. He can't come out and trash the board. People always say, "Why doesn't Moyes say this? Why doesn't Moyes walk?" Because he can't. All right, this is his job. You can't. If you go on social media and you say, "My job sucks. I hate my boss," and your boss sees it, you're going to get fired. So
yeah.
He can't do that. Nobody.
But my problem with the whole thing is the fact that he is so good. He was already in our system, knew how to work with everyone. And that's where I'm coming from. Like, it's an automatic, you don't have to spend the time teaching in the system and doing all that. So I thought by the end of the window, we would at least have something.
This is interesting. I did too, Katie. I did too. Does it change my opinion, Jack? I don't know enough about how these footballers live in their personal lives. I just don't know. I mean, this is good information if it's true, and I believe you. I just, you never know what the original source was. I mean, if it lets him spend more time with his daughter, then I certainly hope that he finds a way to do that. It's like the whole Payet thing, the whole story that Payet left because he had to leave in order to save his family, and if that's true, then he did the right thing, frankly. I just don't know about the personal stuff, how much that played in. I will say this.
I know the Payet story, but I'm not able to say it on a live stream.
Oh, you know the real story?
Yes, I do, but I can't say it on a live stream. But it wasn't. It was bit of family stuff, but yeah, maybe off air. I might say that.
Okay. But so, well, the story is he had an affair. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. I don't want to impugn the guy. Okay, I don't. The story is he had an affair, and his wife basically said either you come back to France or it's over. And he went back to France. That's the story. Is it 60%, 80%, 10%?
You're most of the way there. Yeah.
Okay.
You're most of the way there.
All I'm saying is, as somebody with a family, if the guy did something to save his family, I can't blame him for that. But Jesse Lingard, the other thing is, I'm sorry, Tom, because I know you live in the Midlands, but England is just not that big. Okay, it's just not that big. Alex, you know what I'm talking about. Alex, you live in Mississippi, you live in the South, long distances. You know what I mean? I'm from Texas originally, and you drive 3-4 hours.
We have cars.
Right. Nobody even blinks an eye.
I mean, we have cars. We can get places.
Lingard probably has a Ferrari or whatever. He's probably got like multiple Ferraris and Lambos. Yeah. He wants to go see his daughter. He just drives down the M1 or whatever it is, and he sees his daughter. Right? It's not that big. You drive from the whole.
So face it, it's a 4-hour drive from Manchester to London.
Easy 4-hour drive. I'm telling you.
In UK terms, that's big. That's like the length. I know,
but my dad did 3 hours to Austin and back.
Yeah, but is that 4 hours distance, or are you talking traffic too?
When I used to go see my dad because my mum moved up north, my dad stayed down south. When I was a kid, every other weekend, my mum would drive me down to my dad's, and from door to door, from Yorkshire to London, was 4 hours, and that was with a little stop in the middle at Peterborough. So I imagine, it's same distance on a train from York to London as it is from Manchester to London as well. So it's about 4 hours, with maybe longer if there was traffic.
So 4 hours, like from here to New York, I've driven to New York many times, and it's fine. 4 hours. My dad used to go from Dallas to Austin every day, 3 hours down and back in the same day, once a week. Okay, so I'm just saying it's a different world. If he wants to see us, I hope he gets away to see his daughter. If she brings him to West Ham, even better.
Thing is, though, he was even in the summer. He had his daughter with pictures of her in a West Ham kit still.
That's
so.
Yeah. Once I saw the kid in a West Ham kit, Tom, I said he wants to come to us. You don't.
You don't do that to a kid.
You don't do that to a kid or your kid unless you mean it. You know what I mean? Unless you mean it. By the way, Alex, Lawrence says where we go. Lawrence, Alex works for. Alex is down in Starkville. He works for Mississippi State.
Cal State.
So y'all be meeting each other at some point here.
Yes.
Over the course of the season, but I think he wanted to come. I think he still wants to come. Now, tell me, explain this to me. I believe this for some reason. I don't know why. This seems totally reasonable.
Wally, I felt like I drove 4 hours to the King of Prussia Mall today. I mean, come on.
I've been to the King of Prussia Mall. Yes, to Wally's Mall, many years ago. I feel as though tell me this. He's in the last year of his contract. If he comes in, how does it work if he comes in January? Can he come on a loan for half a season with an option to buy? How does it work? Baby Tom, you know better.
Athers is going to have to tell you that.
I was going to say, the
that's
contract
not me.
stuff, it always confuses me.
I think I may have got the rule completely. I think he would still be allowed to come on loan. I think obviously because he's still a Man United player at that point, and he would just become out of contract at the summer. So he could still come on loan, but we are able to enter into contract discussions with him without Man United's approval because he only has 6 months remaining on his contract. But if he wanted to get loaned out, United could loan him out. Yes, I think is the deal.
So, I mean, do you think there's a chance he ends up at West Ham for the last half of the season?
Yes, I do.
I do too. I think he wants to, and I think there's a chance he does too. There's something else I want to ask before we get to Southampton, which we want to get to Southampton in a minute. We've all pretty consistently been anti-board here at American Average TV. We've all been GSB out. I think almost every West Ham fan I know is GSB out.
In regards to your tweet the other day.
My tweet?
Is this the tweet I saw about you not wanting to bash David Gold?
No. Listen, that's. I have a little soft spot for David Gold because I think he's a little bit senile. I do. Everybody disagrees with me, and that's fine. In
the kindest possible way, Lee. Fuck David Gold. Fuck all. That's how genuinely they're all as bad as each other.
Given the choice, I'd rather not. But yes, I understand what you're saying. Listen. That's fine. I don't care about David Gold. All right. Personal feelings toward David Gold are irrelevant. I've never met him. I don't know him. I'm never going to meet him in all likelihood. Although I'd like to. What I've seen is and there's little cracks in the foundation, little cracks in the foundation. Now, I'm still GSB out. I still think all of our problems come back to them at all times. All right. But I'm seeing little tweets, little cracks here and there about like, hey, they spent some money. They brought in 4 players. They supported Moyes. Do you guys sense that there are, when you look at West Ham social media, when you talk to fans, whatever it is you do you sense that there's like the boiling pot is starting to like come down a little bit, like the heat is coming down a little bit? What do you think?
Winning cures all.
I'll go last on this.
Yeah, agreed.
I want to say, so everybody who's watching, I want to say I'm still hashtag GSB out. All right. I think that they've done enough to show that they're not competent. They're not ambitious. All right. I do. I think David Moyes has saved them and saved us, because I think if he weren't around, we'd be at Sunderland by now. I really do. I believe that. But I'm seeing other people, not me. I'm seeing other people out there saying like, fair play. You know what I mean? Like there was a little teeny bit of pushback. Hammers United said they're going to have a protest against Southampton. There was a little bit of like, don't do that. And you would not have seen that, like a year ago. So Alex, what do you think? I mean,
let me answer your question with a question. When does it end? I mean, they have. I mean, okay. Let's say they're not going to sell the team,
right?
Let's say. So when does it end? What do they have to do? I'm not trying to be in.
This is the question I've always asked.
I don't think it'll ever end. It's not going to.
Then everybody can have their protest. It's if you like I said this years ago. Like owners like that are meant not to be seen. If they're seen, then something's going on.
I agree. You don't want Alex,
but they're heard constantly.
Well, that's their fault. And I agree with you. Their communication policy on some things, and I've worked for owners like that in my life, and I know how it is. I'm not in the front office, but I can tell you I know how it is. One of those two, and I probably would be Sullivan, probably gets a wild hair up his ass. It's like, hey, I want to do this. And people that know that business better than he does, either from a management, player management, communications, something, knows better than him, but either cannot or does not or scared to tell him no. So they all get in a tizzy and they just try to appease him when they all know it's something really terrible to do.
Yeah. But he does have a controlling stake in the club, is what I would say. So at the end of the day, his decision, I guess, is final. But whether or not he listens to his other board members, because obviously he has to go through the entire board. But I think that all of them sing off the same hymn sheet that Sullivan says anyway. I genuinely don't think. I mean, we haven't heard much of Trip Taylor and what his role is on the board, other than a cash injection every single summer. But I still think they sing off the same hymn sheet. And at the end of the day, I know he's a good businessman, Sullivan. You don't earn, upwards of £1 billion and have a net worth of God knows how much if you're not good at business. But I think he's a bit of a bully in the boardroom with his controlling stake.
I'm sure he's but listen, Tom, I mean, let's be honest. David Sullivan was a pornographer. That's how he made his money, all right? Originally. Men who work in pornography as producers do not have the reputation of being kind, gentle. I mean, it's a brutal industry, all right? Let's be honest. And I think Sullivan is a bad dude, generally. I really do. I think he's probably a very difficult guy to work for. I think you're right, Alex. I think he's a bully. Tom, you said the same thing. I think he does what he wants because he can, because he basically owns the club. He's got the controlling interest. He's got more stake in the club than Gold has. I'm not sure if Brady has any. I think I don't know what she does really.
She's supposed to look pretty, but she don't even do that very well.
Well, she's, I mean, the problem I have with Karen Brady is I don't have a lot of respect for her because I think she has tried to build so much of her career around her looks.
She doesn't know what she's talking about ever.
Right. I absolutely respect women in every field. I respect them more when they don't care as much about how they look, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? She's trying to be a beauty queen and get attention that way. And you can't do that forever. And that's actually a really poor way, I think, to behave personally. But beyond all that, how she became a baroness. Every week I wonder what does this even mean and how did she get there? And why is she famous for being in business? Like, what did she ever do?
The Apprentice.
Yeah, the UK Apprentice.
Just
thing
is, back on topic with the board stuff with the other guys. If I was David Moyes, and again I know obviously how well he's done for us, and I respect him. He proved a lot of people wrong, but if I was him, I would have walked potentially this summer.
I wouldn't have come back, Tom. I don't think I'd have come back to begin with.
They listen. They will never have my respect. They will never have, I'm sure, 90% of the fans' respect. They can invest as little money or as much money as they want. That is not going to change people's opinions. Yeah. My real issue with them, under whether it be Bilic constantly throwing him under the bus or Pellegrini throwing him under the bus, all the managers end up with the same fate, even for transfers 2-3 years down the line. Claret and Hugh and all the shite that they put out because they're poison. Exactly, because they'll even throw previous managers under the bus if it makes up with their agenda, or it'll always be anything but the board. But for me, David Moyes, the year that he kept us up, so when he came in for Pellegrini, and I remember being there on the 1st of January, and it was New Year's Day or New Year's Eve, which one, against Bournemouth, and he took over, we won the game.
Yes.
Everything was brilliant. Everything was fine. We're like, right, all of a sudden, he did exceptionally well, especially under the circumstance that season, to steer us clear. And I thought, right, this is the season now in that transfer window to go ahead and back him, because
absolutely, yes.
But they didn't, they didn't. And fair enough. I think we outperformed how we probably should have done last season, and that is largely down to what David Moyes has done. But again, if I was him, and a lot of the time these targets that he singled out, and none of them have ended up happening, or some of them have taken a while to happen, or how difficult it can be just to get to the point of signing players. It just, for me, it stinks. And I think the fact that I think the latest thing that's pissed me off was the fact that where they were talking about the training ground being improved, and it's finally. But it's not for the men's. But it's not for the men's thing. It's to make sure that the women's league, it's up to standard. So it's the whole scrimping and saving and not investing in the club. And listen, I'll be thankful for them for one thing, which was that they took over in a time which was very uneasy, and we could have ended up in a worse position than what we were financially because of what happened with Egert Magnussen, etc.
That's true.
But after that, they have done nothing but drive the club into a ground. And listen, for me, I have zero respect for them. The day that they leave this club will be hopefully a celebration for fans, because we were sold to somebody that wants to take the club forward. But 2023 is the magic year, and until that point, nothing is going to happen. And genuinely, I'm shocked that we did bring in the likes of Zuma, Vlasic, and fair enough, you spent some money, whatever. Well, besides that, I don't give a shit. You're still poison. You're still absolute leeches to this football club, and the sooner you leave, the better. But unfortunately, 2023 is the zero tax golden year that they will eventually sell up and leave the club.
That's how I feel, Tom. Exactly how I feel. And
nothing changes. Nothing changes. If it's always, back the team, not the regime. Nothing changes for that. If we could take GSB flag, into stadiums and etc. And I know some of my friends have had flags taken away from them in the past. I'm sure we would all do it. The black balloons when we were up at Liverpool or Newcastle, wherever it was. All that's got to continue as long as it doesn't affect the team and what's on the pitch. And again, I think like the Burnley game, for me, that had to happen because people had to.
It had to happen.
Exactly.
It got the board to spend whatever they were able to spend, or willing to spend, I should say.
Yeah.
It got them to do it. The Burnley game had to happen. I agree with you on that.
And again, for me, it's Hammers United, and they will be full on still with getting them out, etc. But nothing changes. And if you're that fickle that. Yeah. You've seen them spend 60 to 70 million, and all of a sudden you've gone, oh yeah, well that's decent. You're not a fan of the football club for me, because if you really truly understood what was going on behind closed doors, you wouldn't, back these people. And I know winning appeases that, but for me, if you still support them after everything that they've done, there's something a bit wrong with you, to be honest.
I don't think many people do. I don't think it's. I really haven't seen support, but I think I've seen a lowering of the temperature overall. And And I think there are two issues. One, Alex, you're right. We've been winning, and that helps. I mean, it helps keep people calm, although maybe that's not the best result. But the other problem is this Pi Capital bid looks very bad to me. It continues to look very bad to me. Very shady. They have not competently managed their communications at all. They don't understand West Ham fans. They've demonstrated over and over again they don't know who we are. You know, the Rio Ferdinand thing has been a disaster. One of the guys is wanted by Interpol in Azerbaijan or someplace like that. The problem is we all want GSB out, but I don't want Pi Capital in. I will wait that out. Do you know what I mean?
I'll give you this. Like my dad the other day when he went off, because we're season ticket holders as a family, even though I'm up here, I don't really want to risk it with COVID, etc. in a minute. But that, again, that is still outside the ground on the way in. You know, if you walk from the station into, you know, and not go through the thing, that will still happen. As long as, you know, you can say as much as you want and you can, but as long as, you know, the kickoff time comes and all of a sudden you're banging and you're supporting the team and you're behind, which we've all seen, which we know, as long as you're giving 90% for 90 minutes, you're giving 100% on the pitch.
Yeah,
that's absolutely fine. Everybody's going to support you no matter what, but it will still carry on in the background, and it needs to, you know, unfortunately, because at the end of the day, if it does make, because maybe they do want to stay past 2023, say that, you know, we get to that year and all of a sudden they say, okay, well, we'll wait another couple of years till we'll sell the club.
Pass it down to his kids.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why we need to make sure that we stay on top of it, to make sure that when that time comes that he has no interest in passing it down to his kids because of the fucking shit that we will, sorry for swearing, but the shit that it will cause him, his family, his business, and everything else. I want to make him basically what I want. And again, this is not the voice of everybody. I'm just talking from my personal opinion about it. I want to make him feel uncomfortable in his position. I don't want him to feel secure in his position as, you know, controlling share owner at this club. I want him to feel like people don't want him there. I want him to feel as uncomfortable as possible without any stupid violence or anything happening to him. But I want him to feel like that he is not wanted there. And the sooner that we can do that to get him out, the better, personally.
I feel the same way. Everything you've said, Tom, I mean, I agree. I think what we're doing, and I'll bring Rebecca's comment.
I shall mute myself, just let everybody else jump in. Sorry, I'm very passionate about that. I apologize.
No, I
agree as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Lee, I think that, you know, it is still very prevalent. We don't see it as much over here. But yeah, I think it is still going to be a big, you know, continue to be a problem, like Ather said. And I just don't ever see it going away. I mean, the damage is already done, basically.
That's how I feel too. I think we're walking a tightrope. And the third time Rebecca's comment's getting a third play here, but I think we're walking a tightrope because I don't think Pi is a good option. And I think we have been so focused on GSB out, which is the right way to be, that we have to make sure that we don't bring somebody else in who's just as bad. I don't know that they could be worse, but they could be just as bad.
So I really don't want to jump in again. But
no, go ahead.
You see, what I'm worried about is that eventually we will become like what Man United are as a club. Okay, so literally 6 months ago, you have fans storming the ground because they want their owners out, because they don't feel like they're investing. They should be better opposition than what they were. Fair enough. We know that. You have a history in this league, and there is a position that you want your club to be at. Fair enough. But you bring in Ronaldo, you bring in Sancho, and all of a sudden it's fine again. And that's the thing for me. I don't want it to be a constant cycle of every 2-3 years that we end up spending some money and then the fans go, oh, well, yeah, there we go. We got a couple of good players in. No, take your profit and leave the club and let somebody else try to take in the right direction, because I don't want it to be a cycle like Man United fans constantly go through.
No, it can't be like that. As it is funny. It has been really funny to watch them do the whole, for some reason, they've embraced green and gold as an anti-Glazer statement. And then Man United go inside Ronaldo, and all these people who were Glazers out have all bought Ronaldo shirts, you know. No, it can't be like that. It has to be consistent. The tightrope to me is that, you know, the whole, oh, he's heard it before. He's heard it before. The issue is, you know, I think for a long time.
No, Fo, I don't like Pi either.
I think for a long time we said anybody but GSB. maybe that's not the message. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
GSP out, yes, but let's make sure it's going to be somebody who comes in who understands, or at least wants to understand, our culture, what the fans want, what the club needs. I don't think Pie fits any of that. And so it's a tightrope because, again, we're saying GSP out, but not you, Pie, somebody else. And I think that's a hard.
But unfortunately, Man City have taken Man City have taken it to a different level, and the same with PSG. Is that unless you have a Middle Eastern investor that has
excellent as well as playing, yeah.
Listen, I didn't get a B in French for nothing, but that they have this oil backing almost. That because at the end of the day, FSG and the Glazers and the American owners, etc., they will only go so far because a lot of their profits they want reinvested in the ventures that they have in America. Right. So unless you have got a Middle Eastern owner that is willing to put their billions into a football club, every single owner, especially from here or the States, they're not going to eventually do what the fans want them to do. And I think for me, again, it's with Pie is they're more of the commercial aspect, and how can we develop the Olympic legacy and end up bringing more commercial profit to the club. So again, I know they said they're under hush and whoosh that they can't talk about transfers, etc. But all the plans that they have talked about, nothing fills me with confidence that you're going to end up doing the right thing for us anyway. So for me, again, Man City and PSG have put us in such an awkward position where unless it realistically is a Middle Eastern owner that will just go, 2 billion, what's that to me? I wipe my ass with that kind of money.
Yeah,
you're still going to have issues with the owners. And Liverpool are another one with FSG. Their fans, they're all angry at the minute because, we only bought Ibrahima Konate. God forbid we only spent 30 million in the transfer market. Next summer, they'll get 200 million worth of players in and they just go quiet again.
I'm going to say something about...
Sorry, I apologise again.
No. I'm going to tell something about Liverpool. By the way, Tom, you're lagging a little bit, buddy. You're still talking even though you stopped talking. And also, you've gone real player in the 90s on us, like video-wise. You're like 8 pixels.
I'll stop talking. I'll stop watching Jamaica.
No, don't.
That might have been it. That might have been it.
I was just gonna say you take me back to like the late 90s. Anyway, I think San Francis of Assisi is my football club. Well, I mean, not that we know of. I think that's the issue with Pie. That they've done everything wrong. They've done everything wrong. But these billionaires, that is obviously what we need. But there aren't that many of them. They don't buy football clubs every day. But Liverpool, Manchester United, I don't know as much about them. Let me tell you about Liverpool though. In my opinion, that's a club, and I know the Super League thing made them angry, and they were right to get angry about that. And the fact that they got it shut down was good. All right, it was good. That was, I give them the credit. In terms of complaining about Fenway Sports Group as ownership from a competitive standpoint, that's ridiculous. Fenway Sports Group are fantastic owners. Okay, they're brilliant owners. I mean, look, all you have to do is look at the history of the Boston Red Sox for the last 100 years and realize that they took this franchise that was a loser, a choker franchise, and turned it around. 4 World Series in the last 20 years, whatever it's been since 2004. I mean, they've got a successful NASCAR racing. Fenway Sports Group is plenty ambitious and competitive. If they're complaining about that, that's just stupid. And they've won the Champions League. They've won the Premier League. I mean, shut up, Liverpool. I don't want to hear from them anymore. I get so tired of them. I don't know. It's just, I mean, what do they have to complain about? They've won everything. So I don't know why they're so upset.
Well, what about the Southampton game? How about that?
Yeah, I want to bring that. I'm glad you did that, Alex. Because
sorry, I apologize. That's me. I went off on a tangent.
I ranted too much about this.
I can't help myself, and I've not done a GSB rant in quite some time. So sorry.
Looking forward to that Southampton game.
This is where I come to rant every week.
Yeah.
How about those?
I got a horse over here. Somebody beat his ass for the last 20 minutes, and he's dead. All right, Southampton, let's go.
Nobody. Yeah, you're right. Nobody else in my house wants to hear these rants, so that's the problem. All right. So we do have a game Saturday morning when both my boys get back to playing on Saturday, which means for the next 2 months I'll be awkwardly trying not to discover results, which probably will never work. But anyway, Saturday morning Eastern time. 10 o'clock, 3 o'clock in London. I haven't really studied much about Southampton. I don't know, Alex. What are your thoughts to begin with? Okay, I'll tell you what. Let me back up for a second. Let's be more specific. Okay, sorry, I got him right.
Only Lee could get so far and then go. Whoa, hang on a minute.
That's true. It's true. Only I can do that. All right, let's. I'll make it specific. Do we see Areola, Zuma? Do we see any of our new signings? Let's put it that way.
You will see Zuma. You will not see Areola, and you will not see anybody else except Zuma.
I have seen so many mock starting 11s from West Ham fans on social media.
Don't.
Well, I was supposed to say, Tom, I've seen some with Vlasic, and I'm like, but why are you taking Bowen out?
Some of them want to take Fornals out.
That's crazy. He might be our best player right now.
I just need James Fever in here now to tell me that Fornals shouldn't start, and that'll really. Sorry, Jay Hustle. I apologize.
James is our buddy who wasn't able to come on tonight, and we hope to have him on again soon. James is almost, and Sally isn't here tonight either, and I don't know exactly. He's in school, so he's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you that I always invite Sally to come on because he's done the show with me for a long time, and Sally's a good dude. So anyway, Katie's in school too, but she found time to come on. Sally, so
I know, right?
I don't know what's wrong with you, but anyway.
Well, Sally usually I know comes on every Sunday, so all my schoolwork's due on Sunday. So as soon as we're done this, I gotta turn it in. But hats off to him for doing it.
So I mean, Alex, let me go back to you for a second. So Zuma, I agree. Is there anybody else you would like to see? I mean, anybody else you think we need?
Whatever David Moyes wants to do, I will do.
You're gonna start getting some. You're gonna start getting some pine on your backside soon, sitting on the fence with that one.
No, dude, I said this when they rehired him. I go, he is the right guy. Everybody's like, oh no, he's not. I'm like, he's the right dude. He sat out Bowen for a while, and everybody's like, why is he not going to play Bowen? Well, he's not ready. Why is he not going to play Bowen? He's not ready. He's going to get these guys till they know that they're 100% indoctrinated into the system. They understand everything that's going on, and then they will play. Until that happens, they will not. They no.
Which is why I don't think anyone knew was going to play this Saturday. I think. Sorry.
Oh, somebody objects,
you tell him, Katie's dog.
Somebody disagrees. Somebody back there is not agreeing with you. Who is that? Who is that?
Zuma.
Oh, great. My dog?
Yeah. What's your name?
Oh, Grayson.
Grayson?
Yeah.
Grayson.
Yeah.
There's a kid down the street named Grayson. Actually, believe it. My son has a friend named Grayson. I'm wondering, in all honesty, because it's Moyes, do you think we even see Zuma? I mean,
if we friggin' better.
Katie, tell me what you think. You just muted, but unless you're
no, yeah, I don't think we're changing anything next week.
You think
or
Craig
this
Dawson?
week?
You think Craig Dawson again?
Yep. I mean, is it my choice? No, but I think that I don't think Moyes is going to change anything.
My man just started for France in a stacked team. If he doesn't start in front of Craig Dawson, I love David Moyes, but come on, please.
See, I hate to say it. I'm kind of with Katie on this. I know.
Dawson. I'm not saying it's what I want
either. But Moyes is so, and listen, Alex is right, and I'm 100% a backer of David Moyes. I never wanted him to leave to begin with. When he came and he kept us up the first time, I wanted GSB to bring him in permanently. They didn't do that. They had to come back to him later on. I'm 100% a supporter of David Moyes, but I'll tell you this: he does not like to change his team. He doesn't like to change his team. And even though we had a little bit of a nightmare against Palace, I think he comes back. I think he comes back with the same starting 11. I really do. I think Katie's right about that. And I don't know. He's very reticent to work these new players in usually. So, I mean, listen, I'm with you. I think we all feel this way.
Yeah, hit the pipe, dude. They're crazy. You need to hit the pipe for them.
I need to. Or you mean I've been hitting the pipe, or I need to hit the pipe?
No, he does. Adler's just like he's just always like, I can't believe hit the pipe, dude.
I mean, what do you think, Tom? You think he works in? Do you think Zuma's the only one we see?
Yeah. You just Okay, I'll put it this way, right? If he doesn't start by the following game, I would have an issue. It would just seem criminal to me if Zuma did not. I mean, the man's a Champions League winner as of last season. Like, he has to start. And I love Craig Dawson. I think he came in at a time that we were a bit unsteady at the back, and he put in 6 or 7 just incredible performances for us. You know, nominated for Premier League Player of the Month. Rightly, looked incredible. Right. But the last couple of weeks, some of the goals that we've conceded have directly been his fault. And if anybody in that back line has been anything but suspect this year, it is Mr. Craig Dawson. And I'm sorry, if you've signed someone for nearly £30 million that is a serial winner at Chelsea, he has to go straight into starting 11. And the only other thing I would see would be is I think Areola should start, because I think Fabianski, I had a look, there was somebody had put some stats up of shots saved or something this season, and he from outside the box or inside the box or something, and he had like the lowest percentage of expected sales, something like that anyway. And I think he's been like this, and I mean like at the top of his game for such a long time, but slowly I think that decline is coming for him.
I don't think it's all that slow, Tom. I think it's been precipitous, and I make fun of Tim because Tim always hates Fabianski, but listen, I think Fabianski is starting to show his age a little bit. I think he's starting to show physical wear and tear a little bit.
Even his distribution from the back the last few weeks has been poor.
Yeah,
I've noticed that his kicking has been very, very poor.
Terrifying.
Definitely, making me nervous.
Same way, Katie. Terrifying. And I don't want to see that anymore. I don't want to. I mean, you want to see your keeper comfortably distribute the ball, kick the ball with competently. You know what I mean? Now I watch him and I think, like, what's going to happen? You know, it makes me nervous.
I do think they're very similar goalkeepers. Fabian, I think Areola is what Fabianski was 10 years ago. That athletic, you know, really makes himself look big in the goal, and some of the saves that he makes. And thankfully, we do have a Europa League game soon, so we will obviously be able to judge and probably see one or the other in the Europa League game. So,
right.
But Areola last year for Fulham was immense, and you don't get transfers to Real Madrid and PSG and elsewhere, you know, if you're not good enough. So, yeah, I would for me.
Yeah, I feel the same way. As a matter of fact, we do. We have Southampton. Then we have the first Europa League match is actually going to happen before we're on again.
And then
right?
Man United.
Sorry, that's not right.
Man United.
Right. So we have Southampton on Saturday. Then next week we'll be talking about Europa League, and then Man United. That's going to be.
Who's the first game? Is it Kiev?
It's Zagreb.
It's Sorry, not Kiev. It's Dynamo Zagreb, yes.
Right. Well, right. One of the Dynamos. It's a way to Dynamo Zagreb.
Croatia.
On the 16th, Thursday the 16th.
Were you saying that Europa League is the Paramount channel? Is that what you have to get a subscription to?
I believe that's correct. Although I'm not totally sure. I believe actually, you know what? I'm going to look that up.
I think you can get some of the Spanish-speaking stations if you want to listen to it in Spanish.
I love watching football in Spanish. I think it's fantastic. Well, that's what I grew up with. You know,
ESPN Deportes.
Yeah, when I was a kid.
Señores.
When I was a kid, that was all we had. And,
West Ham United versus Dynamo Zagreb.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I got to talk. I didn't meet him in person, but a guy named Tony Tirado was the Spanish announcer in the 70s and 80s for many years on the old Spanish International Network. And I got to have a long conversation on the phone with him one time. And it was like meeting one of my heroes. It was fantastic. All right, Europa League.
Antonio, go!
I love those guys. I love them. I think they're brilliant. I'll listen to Spanish announcers. I listen to the English guys who are understated. The ones I don't like the American announcers. I can't.
No.
Increíble.
They're the worst.
Antonio, go!
The thing about it is, if you're at work and you can't really listen to it,
it's not
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. No, it's true. It doesn't matter. No, you're right about that.
Antonio.
I sit here for work every day now.
Take it more. It's so awesome.
Maldito hijo de la gran puta.
Can you do one of the commercials for like another TV show?
Oh God.
Oh, the commercials for the TV shows, because they're all like variety shows. It's all like women dancing and outfits, and like
or some like soap opera.
Fat dude comes out, or a telenovela. Yeah, telenovela. Yeah, no, those are the best. It looks as though CBS Sports has the English language rights to broadcast the Europa League until the end of the 2023-24 season. So it'll be on CBS Sports, which I would think would mean CBS Sports Network, which of course is their cable network, right? It's like their NBCSN, CBS Sports Network. And then I would think if it's not on CBS Sports Network, it's probably going to be on. It's going to be on Paramount Plus. And as a matter of fact, I am looking it up, and it says, "Well, that's Lokomotiv Moscow." Oh, that's weird. Look, that's not right. That's
I said something naughty, Charlie. I apologize.
Oh, here it is. Dinamo Zagreb versus West Ham United, 12:45 on September 16th, and that is going to be on Paramount Plus. So you will need Paramount Plus, which I believe. I don't know how much it is.
Or
but,
speak to me about an illegal stream.
Okay. Well, if you must be a scoundrel,
yes.
then you could.
Si, senor.
If you're on, si, senor. If you're on Twitter and you feel like being a scofflaw, maybe you want to be a scofflaw. Then you could message Tom Atherton, and then you have his contact information right there. And CBS is Paramount, which means you get all the crappy CBS shows. If you subscribe to Paramount Plus, you not only get Europa League, you get a bunch of lame, stupid CBS programming as well, which really looks awful, to be honest. As I scroll through it, it looks so bad. Anyway, it's not exactly HBO Max. Let's put it that way. All right. So yeah, I honestly would love to see Zuma. I'd love to see Areola as well. Doesn't understand. My mother was teaching the boys Spanish,
Don't teach him maldito hijo de la gran puta.
Well,
yeah,
they're going to learn that eventually. But I'll tell you, demographically in Chelmsford. Now, if we were living in Texas, they'd learn Spanish. They'd learn all the Spanish cuss words. In Chelmsford, they're going to learn cuss words in like. And Hindi, is that this language in India? Hindi, is that right? Isn't that right? They're going to learn all. Yes, where I live, Chelmsford.
Oh, wait, what? You live in Chelmsford?
Of course.
That's Chelmsford's in Essex. That's near me, where I grew up.
Chelmsford is. You have the OG Chelmsford, and I live in Chelmsford, Mass, which is only which was founded in 1655, which makes it
It's a 4-hour drive.
It's a 4-hour drive. 4-hour drive from everywhere. Chelmsford, my son is more likely to learn cuss words that would be useful in India. So anyway, that would be fun because not many people probably know those, right? Yes, Hindi. There you go. So he's going to learn his cuss words in Hindi, and they'll be able to use them. I won't even know what they mean. Yes, I know. Well, yes, Chelmsford. How does everybody not know this? I've mentioned this like a billion times.
Chelmsford's in Essex.
Chelmsford, the original Chelmsford is, of course, in Essex, where I'd like to visit one of these days. And then we live in Chelmsford, Mass. I've heard it's better than it used to be. Come on now. And I live about 30 miles north of Boston in Chelmsford, Mass, almost in New Hampshire. So anyway, so Southampton, yeah, I would love to see Zuma, obviously. I mean, the question is it Zuma and Ogbonna? Or is it the Maginot line? Is it French? Is it Zuma and Diop?
Oh God, no.
No, Diop, no.
You don't like that? You don't think it should be the Maginot line so that the guns?
Well, we know what happened there. So.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Oh, Chelmsford is not getting a lot.
No, it's not very nice now.
All right, Jack. Why do I never? I have come to the Banshee only once, and it was.
I actually got to run, guys. I got to run.
Oh, do you?
All right.
I got to run.
Okay, but before you go,
yeah,
give us a score for Saturday.
3-2.
Oh,
West Ham.
Okay, I was gonna say. Okay.
I mean, we're putting up goals. 3-2.
I definitely think it's going to be 3-1.
All right,
yeah.
we're putting.
But,
all right.
Chat soon, Alex.
All right.
See you later, mate.
Alex. Yeah,
see you guys. Have a good night.
Thanks, Alex.
You too, buddy.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks for being on.
Thanks.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah, we can go for a few more minutes and then.
Looks like we have a guest in the wings.
Oh, do we? Oh, here he is. Here he is.
Yo,
He's here.
I got 32 problems, but I have the same one. I mean, yo, Big up me. Big up, back up. Big up your blood clot South Tommy boy. What are you saying, my G?
You could not have a much bigger shift from Alex to Peach. This is about as night and day as you can get.
Yo, Brenton, things go upside down when you got Katie, Peach, and Addis and Lee up in the building, dog. I ain't even playing with y'all, man. Straight up, man. Yo, honestly, like, Tom's really passionate. Tom's really passionate about, like, this TSC thing. Like, forget about them, dog. Forget about them. Let's come. Forget about them.
I mean, Tom has to live with it. You know, Tom's in England. He's got to live with it in a way that
I got to live with it too, dog. I got to live with that shit too, dog. It's on them, man. Like, yo, they take up too much of my energy, man. Like, yo, I hate them. The only person I'm interested in is Aaron Brady's daughter, Sophia. That's it. That's me done.
I was not aware she. Okay, do we have to look this up now? I guess. What's her name?
Sophia is
of course you would know that, Peach.
Yo, Sophia, you know how we animate that tune, like Diamonds in the Sky or whatever? That's Sophia, dog. Straight up. She's my ex-wife. She just don't know it yet, dog. Straight up.
Dear. She does appear to be a bit of a lingerie model.
Fire, right?
Did you know about her? Tom, did you know about her?
Don't know about Karen Brady, unfortunately. Yes, I did.
No. Her daughter.
Oh, her daughter.
Sophia, dog.
No,
Brenton, she is like.
You're gonna get him in trouble,
she's
lady.
Like J-Lo on Living Color. It's like a fly girl.
I would argue just go on her Instagram page and you'd see what.
Yes, I'm gonna keep it family oriented and choose one.
Oh God, Lee, don't show us what you're gonna do while you look at hell.
No, I have to do this. I can't see the bottom of my screen. No. Look, hands. Here we go. I can't see the bottom of my screen because of where my laptop's.
Yo, Lee, can I say one thing, dog?
Say whatever you want.
Big up Bo Seasy.
Yeah. Oh.
That's very tame, Lee.
Wow.
I chose one that's very tame.
That's what I'm talking about. That's like Big Mac quarter pounder with cheese and like a sausage and muffin in the morning, dog. How do you mean?
I did. I chose. See, I'm telling you, I chose one that's very tame. There are many that are not so tame.
Yeah.
I chose. But I'll tell you what.
Me and Andy Miles, and Charlie Boy were talking about her the other day, dog. Like she's just like, yo.
All right, there you go. There's one that's less tame.
All right.
See, Tomboy.
Listen, there's one of many. I mean, there's many.
Yeah, you guys.
Oh my
her name is what's her name? Sophia. What now?
Sophia.
Peschelido.
Oh, Sophia.
All right, Sophia. Her name is. If you guys are curious.
Bex isn't wrong. Your season ticket money went to that car.
Right.
My God, she's right.
Yeah.
She's right.
The joke is on us. Truly.
If you're lucky, Wally. If you're lucky. Okay. Her last. I'm never going to be able to. Okay, Pesh. Oh man, I don't know.
She took her dad's name, I think. The ex-footballer.
Well, I don't blame her for that.
Lee, let me ask you, Doc. How are you, man?
Me? How am I? I'm okay.
CB.
How are you? Are you okay?
No, I'm brand new. I'm gonna go around the room. Like, yo, Katie K, how are you?
Yo, Peach, I'm doing great now that you're here.
I love that. I got 32 problems, but others ain't one.
I know.
Like,
you said that the first time. I totally missed when you said that the first time. That's.
Oh, see, but Others has one of the best channels on YouTube. Like, he goes and plays games and like Charlie Ross. He played this one game. Others, tell me what it was. It was like AFK or something. And he kept dying and kept dying and kept dying and kept dying.
Yeah.
I was so dope. It's a big up song.
It's Adam Franklin, real life.
Behave, Missy. Behave.
I know.
Here we go. Sophia. Okay, so if this is purely for research purposes because you're all West Ham supporters.
Oh yeah, research, guys.
I think it's important to know about everything that's going on at the club.
Oh, there you go.
That's her name if you want to Google and see more about
for research purposes.
About her.
Late at night.
Yo, Lee, you know what this is, dog?
Man, there is a lot of research to be done too. Let me tell you.
Lee, you know what this is, dog? Look at this. Do you know what this is? It's a
Basil.
new leaf. It's a new West Ham, dog. We're turning a new leaf, dog.
Do you think
Straight
we are?
up.
Do you think?
Are we, Peach?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
How do you figure that, Peach? How do you figure that?
I figure that because I think Kroll, like we've been linked with him for like eons. I think he is a good signing. I think
Vlasic too. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. What do you think about Kroll, Tommy?
About who?
Kroll.
Alex Kroll.
Don't know much about him. I think the good thing is he's had a lot of sort of Europa League and Champions League experience, which obviously can't help. And I think the main thing for us is that
and he's a Czech.
He is Czech, yes, and I think he's very.
Wait, are you Czech, Katie? Are you Czech?
No, I'm not. But I mean, I love Suchek.
Yeah, I do too. I like the
Czech.
Yeah.
He's the distance.
Like I want to be Czech now.
I want to be
too. I want to be. Yeah,
like
Peach.
He's dead, is what he is. But no, I think he's right. Like I think he adds what Suchek does, and that is my man runs for miles and miles and miles, and that is always a good thing. Is that you're going to have somebody who, if they start the game, will last the full 90, 100%.
And the work ethic.
I don't know what this is all about, but you know what? I mean, again, nothing surprises me. I think Kroll,
make sure it's not David Sullivan.
I would suspect it probably is. I think Kroll is when Rice and Suchek get a little worn out, like they did against Palace, where they looked a little out of it. I think Kroll is the guy you bring in. I think we've needed somebody like that for a long time.
Legs in the engine room is what I would say.
It starts next week, Sunday school. So just saying. Listen, if I'm not up to speed on all the latest sins, there's no way I can teach these kids. Okay, so anyway, I gotta know what's going on out there. I gotta know what's going on.
Come see me. I'll educate you.
What do you think about Vlasic? What do you think about Vlasic? Like like well, Tommy Boy doesn't know, but Katie and Lee know the pickles, the Vlasic pickles dart. We got like a pickle man dart, straight up. You know about the Vlasic pickle dart.
The pickles. That's what I'm saying. Well, that's the best pickle I ever heard. Yeah.
Hey, he's a pickle dart. He's a pickle. Straight up. Like I can't wait. He was a flop. He was a flop. See, I love it when I see this man smile because he's so serious. And that's like Rantini, Claudia, and Tottenham. He's so blood serious. So when I think smile, I know I'm doing good, guys. But like, Vlasic, the pickle thing. We got him.
I need to go research this Vlasic pickle so I can be in on the joke.
You don't have Vlasic.
Honestly, when you were the best pickle I ever had, I don't even know any of that.
The best pickle I ever had.
Trust me, it's not going to be as good as Lee's research. I'll tell you that, Athers.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, some of the images of.
Okay,
here's the problem.
Best pickle, see.
Honestly, KDK. Let me show you, man. This man, like right here, up here, he's a legend, dog. He's a legend, right? I invite you on my show and Tom and Lee, but I sent the man a message and I was like, yo, you think I could come on? Bing bang boss. Homeboy sent me the link. He's like, no doubt.
We love having everybody on. You know that.
So much, man.
That's because we love you, Peach.
All right. See, tell me you have this brand of pickles.
Lawrence, I am 35 minutes past 12. I mean, what is that?
He bites the pickle and he snaps into the pickle and he says, no, and he takes this pickle like a cigar. And he says, no, that's the best pickle I ever heard.
Yeah.
He's sort of like Groucho Marx, kind of, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, like without the cigar, like you know what I mean? Straight up.
Don't you have those? You have those? They sell those?
No, we just have good old just British pickles.
Oh, that's terrible.
No, Bridget, these are like
I will give
real,
you. I
like,
will give
these
you.
are like real pickle stuff. Like, not no gherkin things, like real, like, pickle stuff. I ain't playing with you, man.
Gangster
Charlie Boy
flaccid
knows.
pickle.
Charlie Boy knows. He knows. He understands. He gets it.
I think it was Charlie Boy that told me, because I forgot about it. I think it was Charlie Boy, because like, we did a silly show last night with me, Charlie Boy, and Andy Miles, and we were just singing, cracking jokes, and it was amazing. And like, yeah, I think it was Charlie Boy that mentioned the flaccid pickle. Straight up, man. Honestly, yeah.
I'll give you a pickle you can't refuse. Is what I would say.
It sounds like some Marlon Brando things, doesn't it? It sounds like some Marlon Brando things.
In my mouth.
Well, I mean,
make an offer you can't refuse.
Sorry, Walter loves it.
We probably have Vlasic pickles in our house right now because my Isaac loves pickles. He eats pickles all the time. And I would probably have Vlasic pickles in our house right now.
We use pickles as a term of not an endearment term, but we say, "Oh, you stop being a pickle," is what we'd say.
Yeah, well, now, Tommy, you Tommy boy, you know the real pickle dog, they're brown dog. You know the real pickle dog, they're brown dog. Like, yo, you know the real pickle dog, and you like you make a sandwich. You put some cheddar cheese.
I hate pickle.
Brown pickle things.
No.
They're good on hamburgers. They're good on hamburgers. I like them on hamburgers. Pickles.
No, that's the no. McDonald's. Every time they put pickle in the burger, whip the pickle out.
Oh, but you know where the pickles are the best?
Whip the pickle out. That doesn't sound. Sounds a bit something different.
I'm talking about some Branston things, dog. I'm talking about some Branston things, like, yo, you put like the Branston pickle thing with like some cheese. Like cheddar cheese up in a bun, boom, or some piccalilli. I like them things too, you know. Trust me, man. But like Branston pickle, Lee, you have to have a Branston pickle and cheese sandwich. Honestly, you have to have a Branston pickle and cheese sandwich. You will be in heaven, my friend.
Listen, I'd go for
you're
that.
Almost halfway there because like you're a pastor.
Anything,
like, yo, you that thing, you'll be like in heaven, dog.
I hate mayonnaise, but other than that, I'll eat almost anything I'm not allergic to.
The only pickle I can get behind is Pickle Rick. That's the only thing. If you watch Rick and Morty, Pickle Rick, Lee, what are you doing?
No. These are Chick-fil-A. These are Chick-fil-A, right?
No.
Chick-fil-A, two little pickles.
No.
In the middle of the Chick-fil-A sandwich, this is like the greatest thing in the world. All right, I'm sorry.
No one likes the pickle on the Chick-fil-A.
How have we gone from Southampton to pickles?
We need Alex back. Because he's a Southern guy. He's a Southern guy.
No,
he'll understand
those are the bread and butter pickles. Ooh. You have to have piccalilli or like Branston pickle, dog. Like, you ain't take the pickle until you sat down, man.
Are you telling me you take the pickles off the Chick-fil-A, Katie? Are you saying that to me?
Yeah.
Get out of here. You do not.
Oh my gosh, the pickle juice makes it all soggy. It's not good.
It makes it tangy. Not soggy. No,
soggy.
The pickle is awesome.
Hey, Lee, you know what? And I didn't know this. Look at Tommy. Tommy, like, yo, yeah, I'm extra. I know. Don't deal with it, dog. But it's like, yo, I tell you this, dog. I'll tell you this. Franco, the other day, he has the shirt. Tommy boy, he has the shirt. You know the shirt that you done took off when Lanzini scored the goal? He has that Lanzini shirt, man.
Oh.
He has that Lanzini.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the memory to recreate. He doesn't have my shirt from that day. That is the real shirt.
That's probably the greatest moment in the history of West Ham fans.
Oh my son. Yes, sir. I'm with you 100% on that. I'm with you 100% on that.
The greatest moment in the history of West Ham fan YouTube is Tom taking off his shirt. The second greatest moment is me trying to talk to Georgie Leahy.
I love that whole day because like you got to see like it was Maisie, it was Tommy, it was Charlie Boy, and like you got to see, I don't know what the channel's called, and I don't want to mention their name even if I do, but like you got that Tottenham Hotspur channel, and they're like, and as well.
I love those two guys. Those two Tottenham guys. Those guys.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then they were like, they're like, we got them now. And then second goal going. We got them now. Third goal. We got them now. And then Lanzini scored the goal, and then we're just like,
this is what happens when James isn't here.
Head drop, man.
This is what happens when James isn't here to punch me in the nuts because we're getting off topic. See, James right now would be just seething, just teeth grinding, just seething. You know. All right, Peach. Tell me, what do you think is going to happen against Southampton this weekend? 6 days.
Okay, so what's going to happen is this. We're gonna get the man them back from international duty. I would love Ariola to start. I don't know if he will because David Moyes is really loyal to Fabianski.
I don't think he will. Yeah.
No, me neither. I'd love Ariola to start. I don't think it'll happen. Zuma, I think you're going to see a goal by Zuma debut.
Really? A goal by Zuma? Yeah. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Zuma debut goal. I think you're going to see in the midfield the same. You don't know because Declan Rice has been away in it, so it's like you might have Suchek and Rice with who on the sides you might have well you'll have those two, then you'll have the three in front, so it'll be like Bowen, Benrahma, and Fornals. I can't see that changing. Antonio up front. I could see 2 goals from Antonio, so that'll make it 3. I could see a goal by Armstrong for them, who we should have signed. I could see that 1. I'm going to like a 4-1, 5-1 victory, man, for us.
Well, I'll tell you what. Listen, I'm looking at first of all, no more Danny Ings for them, which is good for us, I think. I'm looking at their results. They have, oh God, I hate this. I hate when stuff like this happens.
Big up KDK. I just want to say that. Big up KDK.
They haven't won a Premier League match yet, okay? That's the worst news I could possibly give you. They have not won a Premier League game yet. They've lost to Everton.
That's not good. Lee, that's not good because when nobody wins, they win against us.
That's
when
what I'm saying,
nobody scores, they score against us. You
Palace
saw that with Crystal Palace.
Palace have not scored a goal. They scored against us twice. Southampton have not won a Premier League game. They've lost to Everton. They've drawn with Manchester United.
Yeah.
They've drawn with Newcastle. All right. They don't look good. That's what worries me most about this game is they're going to come in like wounded animals the way Palace did, and they're going to get a result. Yeah. That's what worries me about this game. I think we're better than Southampton. I think we have a better starting 11 in general. But I'm worried about the result. I don't. Katie, what do you think about Southampton?
Hold on. Stop.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'm talking to you guys. Who do you think is going to score from Southampton against us?
I don't know most of their players, Peach.
Okay, you got Abe, you got Armstrong, you got Ward Prowse.
I'd say Armstrong sounds as likely as anybody. Sure, why not? I mean, sure, But I only know the guys who only score against us, and there's no more Danny Ings in Southampton, so I now I have no idea. Usually you can look at a starting 11 and you can say like, oh, this guy always scores against us. But now that's gone, so I have.
Adams. They got Say Adams. We rock to Say Adams. You watch those boys, trust me. It's stupid. I hate it.
All right, we got a bunch of people. I've been ignoring the chat room. I apologize. Katie, what do you think is going to happen?
I think we're going to win 3-1.
I think you said that before, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. That's definitely where I'm going. I don't think it's going to be a problem. Hopefully, I mean, I would love it.
Who's going to score, Katie?
Sheet.
Who's going to score, Katie? Who's going to score, dog? Who's going to score? Like straight up.
I don't know the answer to this question like that. Yeah.
I think it's going to be Antonio, and I think Benrahma is going to get another. So I think it's going to be.
There you go. I love that.
2 from Antonio and 1 from Benrahma. I was really hoping Bowen, but
No, who do you think's going to be our penalty taker, man? Like, because it's not Antonio. Like, who do you think's going to be our penalty taker? Benrahma, Rice, Cresswell.
I still think it should be Cresswell. I still think Cresswell.
Yeah, Cresswell.
100.
Yeah. 100. I don't want Rice wasting his energy, and it's definitely not Antonio.
I think it's Cresswell. Thomas. What is you should recognize that because you're going to be in French. What do you think is going to happen, Thomas?
I just did quickly because I know you said you were ignoring the chat.
I did. I apologize.
No, James asked me a question, and I just wanted to answer him. I would say yes, it is my best moment on YouTube. We're doing that. Obviously, my channel as well, 100%. But through doing Hammer's Chat and being there for 5 years and doing all the stuff I did, I met some pretty cool people and built some actual in-person friendships with Charlie Walsh and Rebecca specifically, and Gio and Gonzo and all those guys. And the only other thing I'd say is the 24-hour live stream that we did that Lee took part in, I think.
I was in that. That's right. I did an hour of that. Yep.
The charity stream that we did. I think that was definitely up there. But listen, ripping your shirt off against Spurs is probably, for the views that it got, it was always going to go up there. But yes. I would say I'm similar to you guys, although I do think if Zuma starts, I could see us potentially getting a clean sheet. I'm thinking 2-0 is where my head's at.
Really?
Yeah. I think 2-0.
Zuma scoring, Tommy? Do you see Zuma scoring? Like, I see that.
I think he's going to be an absolute menace from set pieces because for Chelsea, he was unbelievable at set pieces. And if you've got, I think that the thing that stands out for Zuma is he's not just 6 foot plus, but he is athletic as hell. And even though he had that knee injury, my man can leap with the best of them. So I think 2-0. I think Antonio may get on the score sheet depending on if he plays the full game, obviously with Jamaica and everything else. And I think Benrahma. I think the two of them just had such a good start to the season. But I think the only thing that we're going to have issue with, and again, this is why I would be more inclined to start Zuma, is that Adam Armstrong is very pacey. Can Craig Dawson deal with that? But he's the only one that really worries me about threat. And then obviously James Ward-Prowse from set pieces. But if it's a typical David Moyes performance, and I'm sure that the boys will be sort of up for wanting to avenge the Palace draw, which we realistically shouldn't have drawn. We should have had 3 wins to start the season. Then I'm going 2-0 win. I'm being positive. It feels strange, but 2-0 win.
No, I love that. I love that. And I don't think Lee, Katie, and Tommy Boy and everybody in the live chat, I don't think we understand the players that we have under Kurt Happy Zuma. Like I think he's special, man. I think he's really special, and I think we're going to see that.
I think
man.
I do too. I just want to see him play. I just want to see Zuma and Ogbonna out there in central defense, and if we do that, I feel pretty good about our ability to hold Southampton because again, I hate the fact I wish they'd won a game coming into this game because I hate when clubs come in not having won or on a bad, pat run of form, and they always come in and they look fantastic against us. On the other hand, I feel as though if we have Zuma with Ogbonna in central defense, and I kind of would like to see Areola for a change. I don't think Moyes is going to do that. I feel good about our chances. They're not. I mean, Southampton are not exactly racking up the goals. 3-1 loss to Everton. They've got 5. They've got 5 Premier League goals so far this season. I don't know. My biggest fear is Rice and Souček didn't look good against Crystal Palace. They've gone and they've played internationals over the course of the week. Antonio's gone and he's played for Jamaica, even though they're
Rice looked good though. I don't know if you watched England, but Rice he was man of the match.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
Souček did get slapped about tonight by Belgium.
Yeah, well, that's going to happen.
He broke up play to pick the first goal, like when it went to Lewis from out to Sterling, and he played well. Lee, if I could ask you this, man, it's like the transfer window. Who did we miss out on?
A striker, Peach. Just somebody in case Antonio's hamstring snaps.
The thing is, as well, though, Lee, the fact that you said, and I agree, I think that was the worst game that Rice and Souček could play for us. But the fact that that's the worst game that we think that they've played for us in 2.5 years is pretty good going.
And we drew. We didn't lose. We drew. Yeah. It's not a bad. It's in a sense, Tom, you're absolutely right. If that's the worst they played for us in 2.5 years, it's still not bad. And we didn't lose, which I guarantee you, pre-Moyes, that team loses. Absolutely loses that game. We didn't lose. We drew. My fear was it's just I just want these guys back and healthy. Antonio came off in the 73rd minute. They're down 3-0 to Panama. It doesn't look good, but he's off. So hopefully he's healthy. Hopefully. with Southampton, I don't know. I can see it. I think that we're certainly capable of winning. My fear is it's going to finish like a 2-2 like Palace. I really feel
Southampton teams have passed, but they're in a. Southampton always do this as they get new young blood that comes through, and then they have a peak, and then they sell and they go up. I think they're on. I think they'll be lucky. I think they'll be in and amongst the relegation fight this season. Genuinely, I think they've got good players, yes, but I don't think if we turn up on our day, I think we have too much for them. 100%.
I'm a little bit like
so let me ask you this, Tommy Boy. Straight up, Tomas. I like potato salad things. Like, how you mean? Who do you think's gonna be? Who do you think's going to be the bottom three? Come May.
I
know it's only been 3 games, so it's
I'll tell you who's a sneaky. I'll give you a sneaky candidate to go down. We've talked about here before, and James mentioned it on the show. It's Wolves. A sneaky candidate to go down without Nuno there.
Who do you think?
Especially if Traore doesn't get back into form.
3 teams, Doug. 3 teams, Doug. 3 teams. End of May. 3 bottom teams, Doug.
Of course, Wolves are going to survive. They've got a Bond villain in Bruno Lage. He sounds like a Bond villain, Bruno Lage.
I mean, they should, and maybe they'll be better than
It sounds like a Bond villain, Bruno Lage.
He does sound like a Bond villain.
I think Burnley's going to be down there, though. I think Burnley's going to be down there. I think Newcastle's going to be down there, and I think Southampton's going to be down there, Doug.
Do you know what? To be controversial, I know Norwich, as James just said, Norwich will probably go. I think Southampton will be in it, but Arsenal, how funny would it be? Oh God, how funny would it be?
Oh Tom, there's nothing in life I would love more.
To see Arsenal get relegated. Dog, I would
you know what?
Arsenal get relegated and then go on like 2 channels, just be like.
You don't host anymore, Lee. You're not the host.
That's okay. They have never been relegated. Arsenal have never played outside the top division of English football ever in their history. Never played outside the top flight.
Who's that, Lee?
Arsenal have never played outside the top flight ever, and I mean, listen, outside of West Ham winning, Europa League or obviously the Premier League or the FA Cup, there's very little in life that would make me as happy as Arsenal going down. That would be just absolutely amazing, but I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, they have too. They're too good.
I know, but I'd love to Arsenal. I used to love watching Arsenal when they had Bergkamp did that one move when he kicked it over and turned around. And
that was a great goal that he scored. Yeah.
Did you know who was the keeper behind all of that?
But I'd love to see them get relegated.
This is the last thing I'll say because I'm going to have to jump because I've got to be up early in the morning. But the one man that kept that together was Arsene Wenger, and my God. Be careful what you wish for Arsenal fans because they would take him back in a heartbeat.
Absolutely, Tom. You're absolutely right. They wanted him out. They did all kinds of, and then they got him out. And look where they are. Look where they are. I'm trying not to.
They're saying like trust the process.
Right.
Trust the process.
I've got to jump. I've got to be up early.
All right, Tom. What do you mean? Excuse me.
Love you all. Peach, love you. KK.
Thank you for being on, Tom. It's great having you on.
Bye, Tom.
Next week, okay? We're doing it again.
Yes, of course.
Excellent.
All right, speak to you later on. Love you guys.
I got 32 problems and I have to take one.
How you mean, Pete? How you mean?
Yeah, done. How you mean that? I love that man. I love straight up, no homo. I love that man. I think he's ill.
I'm not gonna judge. He could be homo. I don't care.
No, straight up. But I love that man, dog. I love that. I love him. And I love him, and I love Charlie Walsh. I think those 2 boys.
Listen. By the way, Charlie Walsh. Go, everybody. If you're still watching, go find a Top Mark on YouTube. Okay, that's Charlie Walsh's wrestling YouTube channel. I just started called a Top Mark.
Yes.
Also, Charlie Boy, who's in our chat room tonight. Charlie Boy will probably be on with us again next week. Charlie Boy from Brooklyn. We all know him. He's doing his own thing on YouTube now. It's just his name, Charlie Boy. All like one word. Go find his channel because it's going to be excellent. The dude knows his football, as you know, because he's been on here many times. You go find his channel. And
Charlie Boy is the Charlie Boy is the bomb. He's real. He's genuine. He's kind.
Oh, he's very real.
He's a real deal guy. Real thing, guy.
Yeah, we got when if Charlie Boy ever comes on at the same time as Katie, we'll have Brooklyn and Philly on at the same time, and that's a lot to deal with right there. Let me tell you, Philly, Brooklyn and Philly, that's a lot to deal with. That's a lot of like.
I know, but then y'all gotta like.
It's gonna be like
gotta,
Hathers
like,
times 10 with the two of us.
By the way, Peach, where?
but y'all gotta like take the train. Like y'all gotta take the train and like take a flight to Canada. You're gonna check out West Ham Random, dog. Straight up, because your boy Adam Frankel's upon the thing. Trust me, Titch, Hammers Fans United, he's upon the thing. Big up little young Jake. I love little young Jake.
Peach,
Little
don't you
young
live in
Jake is
Toronto?
my favorite. He's my favorite. If you haven't voted for him and like there's some competition going on, he could be like, I don't know, the thing of the year. Vote for it. And you know what?
Oh,
you can,
yeah, I'll have to check
you
that
can
out.
clear the history, vote for it again. Clear the history, refresh, vote for it again.
Peach,
Trust me,
don't
big
you
up,
live
big
in Toronto? Don't you live in Toronto, Peach?
Yeah, he's in Toronto.
How is
Right
it bright
outside.
sunshine?
Yeah, man. Yes,
how is it
yes,
like?
please.
Isn't it 8:00 at night in Toronto? How is it
Yeah.
bright sunshine there? What are you doing?
It is, yep. It's 5 to 8 right now.
How is it so sunny? It's pitch dark here in Boston. It's pitch dark.
I know, but listen, you don't got no peaches in Boston, dog. They got peaches in Toronto. So when you got
So
peaches
it's sunny
in
in
Toronto, it just
Peachland.
makes everything brighter, dog. Straight up.
Katie, is it dark in Philadelphia?
Yeah, it's
No,
dark here.
you know what? You guys,
Wicked.
you guys are wicked. You know, you guys
It's
are
the
wicked.
middle of
Like,
the-
big
it's
up
like-
your blood clot cells. You guys are wicked.
I don't know how you're doing this.
It's always sunny in Philadelphia, but right now
That's true.
the
I
sun
love
is
that.
is
I
set.
love that
Wait,
show. I
there a
love
real
that
Patty's
show.
Pub?
That girl on it, she's my favorite, dog. I love that show,
I
dog.
love that shit. Is there a real Patty's Pub, Katie? Is that a real the location? Is it real?
No.
What's that?
Like it's just
Well, the location is real. It's a real place,
Have
but
you been there? Have you been there?
yeah, it's not called Patty's Pub.
No,
though.
I know, but I mean, have you been to the
Okay.
place?
I have not been in. No,
Okay. Is it?
I've driven
Hey,
past.
Katie,
Is it empty or is it like an actual bar or is it?
Yeah, I think it is a bar. Travis, it's a bar, right? The
Okay.
Patty's
Katie,
Pub?
what was the movie? Yo, Katie,
Yeah.
Katie, what was the movie that they always go to see, like in every episode? I forget what it's called, dog. They go to see this one movie
Not always.
in every
Not always.
episode, dog. And then one time they go like run through the
Thunderground
sewer.
Express.
The next time they're like in a taxi cab.
It's Thunderground Express. That's what it's called. Thunderground
There you
Express.
go.
Boom.
And then they
Yes,
try. They're all
big up the sound, dog. Yes,
Thunderground
yes,
Express.
yes.
But I want to see. I want to
Yes,
go.
yes.
I want to go to this place, Katie, and see what. I know it's just the outside, right?
Yeah, it's just. I'm pretty sure it's just a bar. Like
Okay.
it's not.
I'm sure it is. It's
but-
like the Cheers bar in Boston. The
Yeah.
outside. The
Yeah, it's
outside
just
is
the
totally-
outside of it.
But the
but-
inside is totally different. If you go
Yes.
inside, it's
Yep.
something like-
Yep.
Yeah.
The bar.
Have
in
you
the show
ever
is
been
just
there,
that.
Lee? Lee, have you ever been to the Cheers bar? Sorry, this way.
Yeah, I've
Have you
been.
ever been to the Cheers bar?
went, I don't like to go because it's touristy, but I've been. Yeah, I went for an event one time.
Yeah, I've been to the outside of the
All right.
Cheers bar.
It's nothing inside.
All
There's
right.
nothing to see inside. Yeah.
All right. I'd love to, like, who's the boy, man? It was Norm, and then there was Clive. What was
Cliff,
his name,
Cliff.
dog? Clive.
Cliff Clavin.
Oh, Cliff
yeah.
Craven. My boy. Yo, that's my G, dog. Cliff Craven, dog. I would,
Cliff
like,
Craven-
I would
Cliff
go,
was awesome.
Cliff Craven.
He was the
Cliff
most
Craven,
Boston
dog.
guy. He was the most Boston character in the whole thing. He was the
That's
most,
what I'm talking about, dog. See?
Yeah, he was the most.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking. Yeah, man.
yeah.
I love
All
Cliff
right.
Craven.
You know what, Wally, we're gonna do it one of these days, okay?
Yeah.
We are gonna do it. We are gonna do it. I don't know when, but we're gonna do it, okay? It's not that far. We have friends who live in Katie. They live in Havertown or Haverford. Havertown, I think it's called.
Yeah, Havertown or Haverford. They're both really close. Not far at all.
There's a Havertown and a Haverford.
Yep.
Okay, well, so my wife's friend teaches at Villanova, so she lives not too far from Villanova.
Probably Haverford.
Haverford. And then so we've gone down. So it's like a 7-8 hour drive from here with the kids. We'll do it. We'll do it. Tim's gone down to.
And it's only like, it's the same. It's only like 3-4 hour drive to like Pennsylvania. Is that near Philadelphia? No.
Well, Philadelphia is like on the east coast of Pennsylvania. Yeah. Yeah.
So how
take
far?
95 south, basically from Boston.
Yeah.
Take 95 south. You just go
I'm
right down
probably like a 7-hour drive to you, Peach.
to Toronto.
Yeah,
You
7 or
shouldn't
8.
have said
Yeah.
that. You should not have said that. You should not have said that.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
far.
wicked. Good no, because I remember like
it's kind of
my dad.
Katie lives there, and Stowe's is so. I mean, we have West Ham fans there, but Philly, like, is it a cool city, Katie?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We got the Liberty Bell, Rocky.
I don't know.
Yeah, cheesesteaks for days. So cheesesteaks all day
long.
You should really.
I remember my father. My father used to go to where was it, man? It wasn't Myrtle Beach. It was like, I don't know. It was some place like where he went to play golf and thing. And like driving through to there, he used to go like by Philly and like Pennsylvania and thing. And it was like, he said it was like 4 or 5 hours. So yeah, you're bang on. I forget where it was though. Right. It was Santa something, Santa Cruz, Santa Beach, Santa. I mean, not Santa like Father Christmas, but like Santa or something. I don't know.
Listen,
but yeah,
we're gonna do this, okay? We're gonna come to Boston, and we're gonna go to New York. We're gonna go to Philly.
I love it. I think we should all
Chicago.
We're
gonna go to Chicago.
I'm down, dog. I'm down, dog. I am down.
San Antonio, New Orleans. Oh, New Orleans. You may not. Peach, I don't know if you make it out in New Orleans, buddy. I gotta be honest with you.
No, I got yo, Brenton. What I heard about New Orleans, like, check it out. We'll do the whole thing. Like, I'll come across the border, and then I'll go to Charlie Boy. Y'all come pick us up, like in New York, and then we'll go upon the drive.
We'll go to LA and Hollywood.
Yes.
And then Denver. We'll go up to Denver. No, we'll do all that stuff. But New Orleans may be the last one because New Orleans we may not survive. All right.
Yeah. Yo, honestly,
I'm like,
hold on, just before. I heard New Orleans, and because I just want to know this for true, because I've never really asked anybody. I just heard New Orleans apparently is they call it Nolans, but it's like Nolans. It's like you got like the main road and thing, but then it's like it goes from like main road party district to like poor town, like kind of like Washington things like just goes to poor town. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, New Orleans.
Yep.
I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true.
I think it's like any city. You have its parts.
Oh no, there's nothing wrong with that. I just heard. I just wanted to Yeah.
New Orleans has some very poor areas, yes, but it's also really fun. Really fun.
Oh, I can imagine, man. Really they got the beach, they got the gals like doing all that.
You just gotta. There you go.
Finmacools, love Finmacools.
Wally goes down to New Orleans all the time. He knows New Orleans.
That is the Hammers Bar.
Charlie, you don't have to convince me. I will go to Brooklyn. I love Brooklyn.
Yeah,
I would love
Brooklyn. 100%, Charlie boy. Yes,
and I'd go back to Toronto. I've been to Toronto in many years. I'd go to Toronto too, but I haven't been to Toronto in years.
All right. You know. Hold on. Oh my days, I'm so annoying, but I love you guys for putting up with me straight up. No, I know it. I'm not stupid. Like I know it. I'm just so passionate about West Ham and like all of y'all. But it's like, yo, man, this one boy who he's on a channel called Swords from Iron, and his family, like he got Jazz, he got family in Toronto and Brampton.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's a small world, man. It's a small world.
Yeah, you know who else lives there? Cantaloupe.
Who's that? What's
Cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe?
See, I can't hear that. What did you say?
Cantaloupe.
He did not say this. He did not say
You know who I'm talking about, Barney.
No, I have no idea. It just keeps buzzing when you say it. Say it again.
Barney.
No, couldn't hear that. Say it again.
That's not true.
I love you, girl.
Listen,
I told my dad that too. He had a right giggle when I told him straight off.
New York is one of the world's great cities. If you haven't been, you got to go. You really have to go. It's
fantastic. Man.
And I love Brooklyn. We'll go. Okay, I got to put my boys to bed, but let me just say this before we go. I never predict West Ham to win because it's bad luck. I don't feel bad about Saturday, but I'm going to officially say 2-2, a little bit like Palace. And I'm actually a little bit worried that's going to happen. But anyway.
You just said that we're going to win. You just did a full season. You just did a full season.
I always do a full season. That's my whole shtick. I'm just like him. I
love it.
All right. Even though it's a school holiday tomorrow, but the boys are very tired. They're very tired. and I got to put him to bed. So I would like to thank Tom Atherton and our friend Alex from Starkville, Mississippi, and Peach, of course, who somehow lives in perpetual daylight. I don't know how he does it, and it never gets dark where Peach is. And Katie, of course, in Philly. Katie, Thursday night, 8:00 Eastern. Okay.
Yep.
Do you know who it's going to be this week, Dave? Do you know who it's going to be?
I do. I don't have the name on the top of my head, but I do have someone lined up for Thursday. So everyone come on 8 p.m. As Lee said, another hometown hammer.
And Lee, just let me butt in. I'd like to thank you very much, my fine sir, for having me on tonight. Much respect. Much respect. Much respect. And big up Katie.
I'm sorry I couldn't do your show. I'm sorry I couldn't do your show.
The door's always open. The door, it's a revolving door. It doesn't close. Like Katie knows, because everything I do, I always invite Katie. It's a revolving door, and I always invite you. It's a revolving door. When you can come through, we would be honored. We would be honored. But thank you very much for like having this annoying little shit up in the mix, man. I appreciate it, man.
We love you, Peach.
All right, we love you, Peach.
All right, yeah, that's right.
Watch Katie Thursday night, 8:00 Eastern, and until next week, come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.